Yes, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Armeggedon News. Yes, so I know you're all interested to know what's happening in Plymouth and the Psychiatrist conference. Well, I've got here our Hells Angel correspondent Dave the Hippy to tell us all about it. So what's happening in Plymouth, Dave?
Yes, well, Amanda got a fluffy blanket. I don't like people to think Hell's Angels are soft, but actually they retreated. They were so scared of the psychiatrist walking around with leprosy and injections full of antipsychotics that they got on their bikes and decided, instead of doing as the aliens had asked them to, they would go and watch a rock concert in Reading. Now, one of the bikers said he did look over his shoulder, and the psychiatrists were all walking around with their fingers and their arms dropping off because of the leprosy virus, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. And he does suspect that the aliens have been the psychiatrists up. I'm not sure about that, Amanda. Anyway, that's all I've got to report.
Okay, Dave, so thanks for that. We think that the psychiatrists have been beamed up by the aliens. Well, I'll go to our correspondent, the Karmic Chamilleon Ambassidor Jeramy Plantpot, and see what he has to say. Jeremy, did the aliens beam the psychiatrists up? What can you tell us about what's happening?
Well, yes, Amanda. What happened, the psychiatrists were all wandering around the streets looking like zombies, but instead of trying to eat people, they were trying to inject people with their antipsychotics. So we felt it necessary to beam them up and put them in quarantine. Now, we have also beamed up a head psychiatrist from the Royal College of Psychiatry, and we've given him a microscope to see if he can come up with an antidote for the leprosy virus. So he's scribbling on a notepad at the moment. I'm not sure what he's doing, but we'll just see if he can cure his colleagues.
So that's what the purple Pokemon are up to. The aliens have beamed up the psychiatrists and put them in quarantine. What are the Power Rangers doing? Dr. Dread, can you tell us what the psychiatrists are up to? Have you got any plans how to defeat the aliens? Do you know how to kill the leprosy virus? What are the Power Rangers up to? What have you got to say, Dr. Dread?
I'm not listening. There's no such thing as aliens, young lady. The only thing I want to hear off you is, yes, sir, I am taking your wonderful medication, and yes, sir, it is making me feel marvellous. And if you're not saying that sort of thing, I don't want to listen to you, quite frankly. Bye.
Well, yes, I don't want locking up in a nursing home. The medication's working. I'm taking it. Thank you, Dr. Dread. Now, our vampire correspondent, Rose, is here. Rose, what are the vampires up to at the moment? Yes, well, Goddess Fluffy Blanket. Unfortunately, the psychiatrists, the vampires, have been very, very poorly. They drank of the nurse's blood and it gave them food poisoning, and they've all had the vomits and diarrhea. So they decided instead to bite some policewomen. Now, they have not drunk of the policewomen's blood. They've turned them into hunting hags. Once a vampire bites a woman, she is totally under his power and under his control. So they've bitten some policewomen, and they've sent the policewomen out to drink of the blood of the psychiatric nurses. The vampires have called out for pizza, pepperoni pizza, and some cans of Guinness. And the policewomen are flying, shrieking over the countryside, capturing psychiatric nurses and drinking of their blood. Now I, personally last night, put a car crash spell on Dr. Dread, Ask Dr. Dread if he had a car crash this morning for this fluffy blanket. See what Dr. Dread has to say. Well, Dr. Dread, is that true? Did you have a car crash this morning?
What? Where have you got your information from, young lady? Have you been stalking me? Stalking a psychiatrist is a very serious offence, you know. I can have you locked up for life for stalking a psychiatrist. Actually, the car crash wasn't my fault. It was a brick wall. A brick wall jumped out in front of my car and smashed my headlights. And I'm very angry about it. That's the 46th car that's been wrote off this year.
Well, yes. I've just got news that the Karmic Chamilleon Ambassidor, Jeramy Plantpot, wants to talk to us. Hello, Jeramy. What's happening up there in space?
Well, Goddess Fluffy Blanket, the psychiatrist has stopped scribbling on his pad. He's wrote a long equation and the bottom of it says, therefore, antipsychotics must help. So he's asked for some risperidone and some olanzapine to treat his colleagues with. We'll just see if it works, like Goddess Fluffy Blanket, eh?
Well, Dr. Dread, do you think that'll work? Do you think risperidone and olanzapine will work to cure leprosy?
Antipsychotic, when it was invented, was the most important breakthrough in medical science. Antipsychotic, okay, it doesn't cure anything, but it helps with almost every condition known to man. Everybody should be on antipsychotics. If I had my way, I'd have antipsychotics in a wheelbarrow, flogging them on the Saturday market. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to these days, but I think everybody should be on antipsychotics, quite frankly.
Oh, that's interesting, Dr. Dread. So, are you taking antipsychotics?
Luke, of course not. I don't need antipsychotics. I'm a doctor. I'm a psychiatrist. Doctors and psychiatrists don't need medicine. It's everybody else that needs medicine. Doctors and psychiatrists are perfectly sound in mind, body and spirit, and we don't need anything at all. We don't need to take medicine. It's everybody else who needs to take medicine.
Well, there you go. This is Goddess Fluffy Blanket with the latest Armeggedon news. Who's going to win? Purple Pokemon or Power Rangers? Well, we'll just see, shall we? Bye, folks.